everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are. So I am actually very excited to film this video because I purchased myself a new smartphone after roughly 3 years. Well, 2 years and 8 months to be exact, but who's counting? Anyway, so my average phone upgrade timeline is roughly 2.5 years. Sometimes it's 3 years, sometimes it's 2 years. It really depends on how much I like the latest iPhone release. On that note, I have been an iOS girly for well over 10 years, 11 years. In 11 years, I've had 5 iPhones, I think. I had the 4, 7, 10, 11, which I didn't need. I was fooled into buying it. If I hadn't been fooled into buying it, that's a story for another time. Then I would have had like a 12 and a 14 right now. But anyway, 11 and 13, and my phone works perfectly fine. And that brings me to why did I buy another phone? So living in Korea, despite me being fooled into buying an iPhone 11 because I was convinced my iPhone 10 would not work with any cell phone carrier in Korea because it was from Canada. Side note, it did. Anyway, but having 2 phones in Korea, the 4 years that I lived there, was very convenient. I kept one phone for Canada and I kept one phone for Korea. It just made things easier for me, and if I ever ran out of battery, as someone who goes out and just stays out for hours, I had a backup phone. So that was very convenient. And coming to Japan, I came to Japan with one phone because I sold my iPhone 11 and exchanged it for the 13, and my iPhone 10 was broken. It smashed. Someone did it to it. I used to work in a kindergarten, so you better be careful with little slippery buttery hands. Anyway, so that I sold, and I sold both of my phones that I had in Korea to get the 13th, and now I have the 13th. But as I said, having 2 phones was convenient, but that also told me I didn't necessarily want 2 iPhones. So once I came to Japan, I always knew I wanted one iOS, and I thought it would be a good idea to have one Android, but none of the Android phones were calling to me with the exception of the Samsung Z Flip and the Samsung Z Fold. Now the Z Fold seems a little counterproductive as something that's supposed to be, convenient and easy to store and carry. So I was leaning more towards Z Flip series. I liked all the colors in Z Flip 4. Almost got it, but then I realized that Z Flip 5 was gonna have a full back screen, so I waited for that. Tried to order it online in Japan, but it was not as easy as I thought. So I decided to wait on it once I moved Tokyo side, which I did in 2024. Things were quite busy, so never got around to it. And once I had some free time to get into going to a store to get it, I was like, Z Flip 6 is coming out, might as well just wait for that and then get that. Z Flip 6 comes out, did not like the colors. So now I was in a rut where it's like, I still like the Z Flip 5 lavender purple pink shade, but the 6 came out. Why am I buying an older model when there's a newer model out there? And then my dad suggested you could check out other models, and I was like, yeah, I could. Did a lot of online search, was still stuck on Z Flip series. So but I was like, I don't want to wait till Flip 7 comes out, and what if I don't like the colors then? But after a lot of searching, I kid you not, where is my box? I found something that I just could not pass up. And that is the Libero Flip from Y Mobile. If I am not wrong, this phone was made specifically for this cell phone carrier. It is made in China, but I think the brand, I'm not sure if the brand is Chinese or not. Haven't done any research. I'll talk more about all of those aspects in the unboxing, but I bought this phone because this phone, a smartphone flip phone, cost me 225 Canadian dollars, and it blew my mind. Now, it's not necessarily in a bright color I wanted, but it is a neutral color. So and I always wanted either a pink or a purple or a gold for my Android, so gold works. So yeah, the blue one was pretty. I do kind of regret not getting the blue one now, because the gold is not my kind of gold, but I do like it. So yeah, and plus it is so cheap. Now that is relative and subjective to everyone's circumstances, but all things considered, compared to the competition, the phone is so cheap. If the phone lasts me 6 months, I kid you not, I will be satisfied. So yeah, anyway, let's get into the unboxing. So the package arrived while I was at work, and I was so antsy because I waited the whole morning for it to come. It didn't. I went to work and then it came 2 hours later, and I was like, why did this happen? So I came back home during break time, because it's like my workplace is a 5-minute walk, and I put the box inside, and it's like, I want to open this baby up right now, but alas, I didn't have time to film and do that because I had to eat. I was also hungry, and then I had to go back to work. So came back home from work, and the first thing I do is try to open it. I'm not even thinking, like, I'm going at it like a beast. So I find that quite funny at the moment, so yeah, it is what it is. So I came across this phone while I was looking for alternatives, and even looking for Z Flip 5 Lavender on a discount, because the way things work in Japan, or at least the way I understand it, is whenever a new phone is released from Samsung or Japan, Samsung or Apple, the three big cell phone carriers in Japan tend to drop last year's model in favor of the current release, and then the smaller smartphone carriers in Japan tend to pick up last year's model. So I was just browsing, and I came across the Libero Flip, saw the price, got it for 225 Canadian dollars, which probably is around anywhere from 190 to 200 USD roughly. So yeah, now after doing some research, the few facts that I've gathered is that when this phone first came to Japan, it was around 420 US dollar, which is still quite cheap compared to the 700 Motorola Razr or the 1500 Z Flip series. So yeah, still not bad, and for the price that I paid, I am super happy about that. Now, as you can see, I have unboxed the phone. I got a bit distracted from that. Anyway, so where was I going with this? Yes, so after doing some research, the brand ZTE, never heard of it, is Chinese. I have heard of their popular phone Nubia, but I just know the name. I don't know anything else. And what else do I know now is that, or at least I assume this is factual, this phone was specifically made for the Japanese market. I'm not sure, but that's how I understood it. So that's quite interesting. Moving on from all the important information, because that's all I got so far, I got this coupon for a case for the phone. From what I remember, is an expensive brand, not a luxury brand, but somewhere along the Michael Kors, Coach, Kate Spade arena. I forget the name of it, I'm sorry, and I threw out the brochure. So yeah, anywho, I've decided that from now on, whenever I get a new phone, I'm just gonna get a clear case, because one, it's the cheapest, and also because I am so crafty. Like, I like doing crafts. Like, I am able to design my own phone case, decorative paper stuff, and I just put that between the phone and the phone case, and it works like magic. And that allows me to live a clutter-free life, but it also allows me to be more environmental friendly, save money, yada yada yada. So I'm just gonna use my decorative papers or stickers to jazz up my phone, at least for a phone that is inexpensive. I mean, for what it is the cheapest phone in the market for the kind of product that it is. Anywho, when I started the phone, I saw that it started off with Japanese, so I got really panicky, thinking that they might not offer an English operating system because there are some electronics that I've come across in Korea and Japan where getting it to work in English is not easy. So, but had no reason to worry. It was just like, any regular phone. I just flipped down, chose English, and Canadian English was an option. So, yeah, I was relieved about that though. In all honesty, the date and the time had me a little, on the fence, for lack of a better phrase, because both the date and the time were not correct, and that has never happened to me before with any of my phone purchases. So I was like, why is this happening? Because I was quite skeptical about this product because of the price tag. So yeah, but no worries. I mean, I fixed the date myself. Quite easy to do. I was gonna set the time and then I decided, wait, I don't know what time it is, so I left it for later. And once I got on the internet off screen, the time fixed itself. So that's kind of self-explanatory. So yeah, no worries. But as I said, I tend to get panicky and paranoid when I feel like there is a reason to be. So yeah. Anywho, I found adjusting to the Android system quite easy. It's very user friendly. Like, I haven't used an Android phone in 14-ish years now. And yeah, it's a piece of cake. And that brings me to the question, like, if you switched systems from the iOS to Android or vice versa, Android to iOS, did you find it to be a difficult learning curve? Now, in my defense, like, my main driver has been the iOS system for well over a decade now, but I have had to use a Windows computer quite frequently, during my university years, because the library, like my campus library, only had Windows computers back in the day. And also for work in Korea, because my workplaces were not buying us Mac desktops, right? So yeah, I've used Windows quite frequently, but Android not so much. Anywho, if you switched the systems on your cell phones or computers from Apple to not Apple or vice versa, was it hard? Please let me know, because I am curious. Because, in all honesty, I don't find it to be that difficult. So yeah. So moving on from that tangent, if you notice the warning sign, what it said was that the phone already comes with a screen protector on it, and I shouldn't remove it. And if I do remove it, the warranty of the phone would be null and void, which made me go, huh? Because I don't remember paying for a warranty unless it comes with that 1-year warranty thing. And even if it does, I'm not gonna go through the hassle of contacting the warranty if something does happen, because I'm just gonna consider it a lesson learned. I really don't have high expectations from this product. As I said, if the phone lasts me even 6 months, I will consider it well worth it. It was a well worth experiment. So yeah. Anywho, here is my clear case. It comes with a strap. I did not notice that when I purchased the case. I don't really like the strap. It's not my style. So we are just gonna have to chuck it somewhere else, do something with it. I don't want to trash it because, it could be used for something. But if I can't find a use for it, then what will I do with it? Anyway, I am having a midlife crisis about how much trash I put out in the planet. So, but that's a story for another time. Anywho, I put the case on the phone, and I actually don't remember if I talked about this or not, but I did mention that I kind of regretted not getting the blue one because the gold shade looks more cream than gold. It is still a very neutral looking phone, so I am quite happy with it, but it doesn't scream gold to me. So, I was like, the blue seemed so soft and pretty. Maybe I should have gone with the blue, but then would I have liked the blue? So, I am kind of having mixed feelings about the color, because white was available, but white just was not screaming my name in the moment. If I wanted a non-black neutral color, I was, going with gold over white. Now, if there was a silver, I would have picked up the silver. Anywho, moving on, as I stated earlier, I wanted to use some stickers to jazz up my phone. These Sakura stickers, however, were just not calling my name. I thought they'd look better with a darker backdrop, and the vintage looking stickers, I wanted the whole phone covered up with them. Would require a lot of time and effort, and I just didn't have that in me. And then these stickers that pop, I thought would look cute, but I think my students would love these stickers, and I do give them stickers, so I decided to save this shade for them. And last but not the least, the one I decided to go with is the classic black color. In my opinion, black does match with everything, but I don't know if it matches with the cream. I really, really don't. I like it, but do I really like it? I'm not sure. But the good news is that, it's not going to take me more than 5 minutes to take the stickers off if I get bored of the look. But the process of starting over again would take more time depending on how I'm feeling and what I plan to do. But, that's life, I guess. So, yeah. After deciding or thinking that I was done, I thought the phone looked quite empty and spacey on some spots, so I decided to put even more stickers on. I never realized putting stickers on something would require so much thought behind it, but yeah, that's me. It happens to me all the time actually, but I tend to forget that aspect. Anyway, this is the final look. Like it, hate it, I myself am quite unsure, but I am enjoying the phone quite a bit.